Well, the concerns are real here for MacGinty. There was a real grimace as he went to ground after that chip and chase. Looked like a hamstring.
I don't have my kid on, man. I got my shorts on. How you doing?
AJ. Left or right side? Right side. Cool, stay.
How you been, alright?
Yeah,
So, just chilling. My name's Adam Roberts, I'm Head of Medical Services here at Bristol Bears. So first game of the season, as you'll see in the video, AJ just chips the ball through. As he's sprinting through, unfortunately gets knocked by Mike Brown, who's about to make a tackle, which forces his leg into a bit of hyperextension, which has overstretched that distal hamstring and caused it to tear. So what the MRI scan revealed the next morning at Nuffield was unfortunately a 24 centimetre tear, going all the way from middle down right down to the bottom, which unfortunately required surgery. So quite a big injury, which is quite surprising when you actually look at the mechanism. It doesn't look like too much, but actually was far worse on scan.
Initially I thought, yeah, this does not feel good at all. I've never had like sort of that sensation in my hamstring before, so didn't feel great. And then when we did this testing, it was really weak. But then when I actually got up, I don't know, probably just adrenaline pumping. When I got up, I felt like I was pretty stable, but anything to push off kind of, it didn't have the power in it. And then like, as I've sat down then and just over the next like 40 minutes, it's just like complete agony. Like I haven't really been able to move it. So it's probably sound advice from ads to pull me off.
Due to our relationship with Nuffield, we were able to get an MRI scan of him the following morning, so Saturday morning, which unfortunately revealed he had quite an extensive hamstring tear right at the bottom of his hamstring. So with that bit of information, we sent that off to the specialist in London, Professor Faraz Haddad, who is an expert in managing muscle injuries, who then repaired that for AJ on the Tuesday. What's really important for us with this relationship with Nuffield is being able to get the player in on a Saturday out of hours, get the information back as quickly as possible to the surgeon, and then be able to make quick, effective and accurate diagnoses to make sure that our onward management of the player is as effective as possible. So on Monday we could do our Zoom call with Professor Haddad, and then Tuesday morning he is then in theatre and has the surgery and is back home in Bristol by Tuesday night.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? So from what we were told, I'll take a picture for you.
AJ's been great. He's a fantastic professional, model professional, and takes things like this in his stride. So he's been a real pleasure to work with. I think again for us, what's really important is getting that diagnosis early, getting our plan of action, and then actioning that. I think that is vitally important to players because he wants to be back on the pitch as soon as safely as possible, and that's exactly what we want as well. So everything we can do our end to set him up with that. So obviously get the surgery done early, get our nutrition dialed in with our nutritionist, and then looking at other things, so other evidence-based treatments, again, things that we'll probably cover off in some of this video that we can do to try and knock off as much time as we can and get him back to fitness as quickly as possible.
The first month it was just extremely tight, like when they're sort of with the physios, and obviously they did spend many hours with the physios and did treated me so well, but it's just extremely tight, like almost like a burning sensation. So I guess the more I began to move, because I was still for so long, I just had tightened up so much. So to be honest, all the sort of activities and exercise they threw at me, it felt pretty good, to be honest. I never had any fears, maybe that I wouldn't get my pace again, but that's coming back. So that's the only real worry. But it was it feels really good.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
To the gym.
Times have been tough.
The main aims when you're getting back to the gym is you want to fight some of that inhibition that's going on. So the body is a complex system that's very, very very adept at finding the easiest route. So what we'll certainly find if someone's had surgery in an area, so you can see on the back of on his leg there, he's got that big incision, is the body will work to offload those tissues. And we have to sort of re-educate it in a sense that actually, no, we need to get some good strength back through there and normalise those patterns again. And I think that's the big challenge with any of these reconstructive operations like this, is that re-education piece, the reloading piece, to make sure that, you know, he resumes that balance and he moves in the way that AJ does. How's it feeling?
Yeah, I feel like I'm actually like putting more through it now, which is good. I just haven't done any sort of movement like this in so long, so. I guess off the back of last season was probably as available for every game, and that felt great, you know. I just put my hand up for section for every game, which is kind of what you want. Like previously I've had like shoulder injuries and stuff, but never on my hamstring, so I guess you get over it pretty quick. You just, like, what's the focus? It's like, this is the game you get back for, and then you work your ass off to try to get back, but before that, and without like pushing it or overdoing it, because I think that's the danger with the hamstring, is that you can try to force it too quick. And I know many people before have come back and had some reniggle or something like that. So I guess, yeah, just accept it's happened and move forward, and just get your body in the best shape, your mind in the best shape as possible. So I'd like to say try to become more relaxed, but I got 2 young kids, so they life at home is pretty mental, but that's exciting too. So that probably kept me occupied as well.
Shorts, tee, really showed you up. I know. It's like, why is he going up the fun? He's in shorts and a t-shirt and a vest.
The return to run, as I say, really, really important. So what we know with hamstrings is, with your hamstring muscle, is the different speeds that you run up, you have different contributions of your hamstring. So actually you can run at relatively slow speeds without challenging the hamstring too much, which is why we got him running. Once he came out of the brace, he started running pretty quickly. We've got an Auto-G here, which is a treadmill that can offload your weight, so we could start him at a slightly lighter weight, and also start him on an incline treadmill. So by putting it at an incline, you get less of that terminal swing phase, so again, exposing his tendons to less stress, so again, unable to do that relatively early. Those next stages would be, you know, a couple of simple runs with me, and then moving over to Super. And I think one of Super's greatest strengths, obviously we all know his playing history and bits and pieces, is that with Kev, the ball in hand comes in very, very early. So I think, you know, for players, that's really, really important, especially a player like AJ, is it's not about just, you know, running meters and bits and pieces. It's how can I get my ball in hand? And then how can we bring in skills and things like with Beanie, Sean Marsden, with constraints. So, you know, he was very, very early on, you know, weeks 6, 7, 8, hands are on the ball, very small spaces, we're doing those things. Same where Kev was great as a back three player himself, as we're starting, you know, low level punts came in very early, building all the way up to the more challenging kicks that he has to do.
Now the Bears have a former Saleman back in the ranks. AJ MacGinty is back with us after a long time out. Injured in the opening round of the Premiership. He's replacing Callum Sheedy, himself on the treatment table now.
I just had a quite, like, I don't know, in myself, a quiet confidence that like things will go well up there. I don't know why that is. I felt good going up to Sale, and I guess for me it's a bit of a rivalry because I'm playing against lads I was with for 6 years, so a lot of good mates up there, so to compete against them again. So I was pretty calm, pretty confident, and yeah, just happy to be back out there.
The main thing that, you know, with all of our rehabs here is, you know, try and be very, very process driven. You know, we have all of our sort of strength, flexibility, and fitness diagnostical markers that we're led by to give us and the player confidence that they're ready to go. And, you know, within that rehab, we leave no stone unturned. So when he comes to that game, really, there is nothing new that he's going to face. The biggest challenge is, you know, there is no stimulus like a game. So although with GPS units and things that we can say he's hit the meters and he's hit the speeds and all those things, you know, as we all know, anyone who's played the game or any kind of game at any level is, you know, that match fitness is something else. So I think the only thing that we were probably wary of was things like cramp, you know, calf cramp. Unfortunately, with the weather that we had in Bristol, Wednesday we had a heavy pitch here. You know, the pitch was heavy up in Sale. But again, it's a measure of the man, measure of, you know, the work and fitness he put in. He saw out 80 minutes, you know. So yes, his calves were starting to cramp in bits and pieces, but for him to see out the game with that is a testament to not only the effort and work he's done, but I think the process as a whole. then it's prepared him to succeed and play 80 minutes. So then, you know, now is our next challenge, is we've got to back that up. You know, I think with any player, but especially a player that's your 10 and you're playing, we've got to get him playing every week. And that's our goal, is all the way to this winter break, we want to see him play and be available for 80 minutes, and we need him on the training field, you know, marshalling the guys and training as much as possible as well.
Delighted to play 80 minutes. I think I was taking some liquids at half time because I was feeling my calves cramping up, and probably the first 20 minutes were felt to me fast pace, but yeah, it felt good. I think the rest of the team played phenomenally well, which made things probably a lot easier for me. So I kind of had to focus just kind of get in the right position and make some good passes and get the boys on the ball. So yeah, that was the focus, and I think first game back, all things went well. So yeah, it's just a case of building on that and moving forward.
Hey, cut, Minty, cut.